The Fox 5 drone flying high over Formula One's latest construction zone. Between now and May 19th, crews will be hard at work repaving the strip for November's big race. They started between Sands and Spring Mountain today and will work their way as far south as Harmon. You can expect some big backups as that project proceeds. And with all this road work being done, first responders are having to deal with as little as one lane at a time being open. Fox 5's Mike Allen talked with the ambulance service provider for the strip. So Mike, what did you find out?
Well, there's a lot of work being done. Just now, a truck drove by me trying to cool off the strip right now. It's a little warm to do a little paving. But with only 1 or 2 lanes open at a time, there are 3 total open on Spring Mountain and the strip right now. Only 1 going southbound, though. That makes it really tough for ambulances responding to an emergency to actually fit in there and go. But the owner of one local ambulance service that I talked to says he's prepared.
We've really honed in on that area. We really paid attention to that area.
Community Ambulance has been serving the strip area since January. Senior Director Glenn Simpson says there are unique adjustments he has to make for such a crowded area during a project on the scale of an F1 race.
With the constructions, that closest, most appropriate unit may not be the one that it was several weeks ago when all the roads were open.
If his service is chosen for the Las Vegas Grand Prix in November, Simpson also has to figure out what exactly happens after a patient gets picked up during an event that's expected to pack 100,000 people into the area around the track.
We're strategic in, that flow of patients from that congested area to the hospitals. Part of the responsibility that we owe to our community is that we just don't overwhelm our hospital systems.
Simpson is confident the event will be handled well, though, because that's what Vegas does best.
We have the ability to host events of all sizes and all scales, and we have a way of doing it in a safe manner. This is the entertainment capital of the world. We have an obligation to live up to that, and you can trust that those in public safety are here to ensure that it's the safest entertainment capital in the entire world.
And Simpson tells me there are some blueprints that he's using in order to maybe better handle the influx of people on the strip while it's shut down. For example, the Aces parade for their championship and also New Year's Eve. And as you can see, there is a pretty decent backup behind me. Some cross traffic going right now, but again, only 3 lanes open on Spring Mountain and Las Vegas Boulevard. And as the truck comes closer to me, you can probably hear it. They're still spraying it down, going to do a little bit more work. For now, reporting live on the strip, Mike Allen, Fox 5 News, local Las Vegas.
All right, Mike, thanks. Busy out there. Paving on Las Vegas Boulevard is scheduled to wrap up on May 19th with a second round scheduled for July.